Renova Energy monument sign. Let's go over this. It's a bit of a beast, basically rectangle box, but there's a lot of fidgety little pieces to it. So just pay attention. Hopefully I don't wander all over the place, but there's a lot going on. So let's just get a profile view real quick, just to kind of see what I'm talking about. Different things. I'm just, definition of what I'm kind of going over here. So we're going to have an 8-inch wide. I'm calling it the main cabinet or the main box. That's 8 inches wide, and it's sort of the main body. And then you're going to have this decorative, I'm calling it an outer box, that is 12 inches wide. So we're going to that gets attached to the main box at some point. Then you're going to have basically these acrylic letters. They're 1.5 inches, 2 times 1.5 inches here, that are sandwiched together to create sort of a reverse channel glow. And they're going to be mounted to this 1/4 inch plate backer piece, like you see here, that's going to slide in through dog bones, attach into this letter bracing, letter mounts, I'm calling them. Those are going to go along the entire span, and you'll see that's in black. And you'll slide that in, it'll bonk, and then we'll have corresponding rivnuts, 1/4 that will be there to attach these letters here. So the letters will just sit there and then just be secured by these bolts. We'll have strategic power holes. You'll run your power through, run it down, collect it, and it'll run to a power box. We will have lift points, which we'll go over. We're going to have custom eyelets that'll reach down in, and we'll have a 1/4 inch plate system. So we're going to go over that. So let's just do the lay of the land. This is the front view. So you have there's your main cabinet. That's the 8-inch deep, recessed in. And then we have our 12-inch cabinet here and there. And there's your letters. And the green right there represents the sticks coming down and being attached. The black is the letter mounting frame there. So, all right. So lay of the land. Here's all the parts. I broke it out. You've got the outer box pieces. You got the top, the inner piece, the sides. Got bracing. And watch out for these guys. This is actually the jigs for all the way around. You do have corner jigs and the little bottom nuggets right there. So keep an eye out for those. Main box, lots going on. Here's all your jigs. You got your top. You got these are your letter braces right here. This is your internal verticals. There's your end pieces. These are your internal mids and the bottom piece. Watch out for bracing, all that. That's marked bottom. Power box, custom little guy, like we do, but a little different. We'll go over that. Look for all the parts. Skins, all in one. So front facing permanent, and skins for the front and the back of the outer box. And then you'll have that's all broken up. That's the back skins. So some of these are removable, some aren't. Lift points, 1/4 inch. Look for those. Dog bone, whatnot. Mounting plates, usual thing there. Look for those, kind of long and skinny. 1/4 inch plate. These are the letter backers. And 1.5 inch clear acrylic, double stacked with island fill kind of channels and whatnot. So look for that. All right, so here we are. I kind of put this together for this little order of assembly, because even for me, like I say, it's going to be tough. I might ramble around, so we'll try to but if you kind of follow, kind of work our way down, this would be a good way to put this together. So start with the main box. So like I said, the 8-inch deep, you'll just put that together like normal, put all the pieces. The center jigs, look for the clipped corners. That's up. So these are all universal. So like that's universal, that's universal. These are universal, but look for this clipped corner that shoots up. So that way these are, going the right direction. These are the normal ones we use, but I thought maybe you might use some new ones. Maybe they're getting beat up. So when you get these are the usual universal jigs we use. So you can just put these in the box. So there's nothing different. I just thought maybe I'd give you some fresh ones. So yeah, so look at all your jigs. So go ahead and put the main box together. And then next we'll do probably lift points. So here's your cut list. I'm probably making you sick, but so you've got 2 verticals. If these are a little short, fine. You know how that works. You don't want it to be long. You just want it to be short. And then you've got a shorter one and a longer one. This is 2x4 by 1/8 inch. And then you also have, this is, they're calling out 3/8. So look for that. I think we have 3/8. If not, bring it in. 4x4 by 3/8. Those are your mounting tubes. Anyway, so you're going to slide the long one through and you'll have those plates like we do. Those are in green right here. So you'll mate those up, weld this here. And that's what I'm saying. You know, you can make this a little short if you want. And then slide through the 160 goes on the top. So these are your mount plates. And you can see where the mount plate is notched to fit where the letter frame goes. So you're going to basically get this in there, tack it in there, get it in place. And then you'll have this plate here. All the arrows face to the front. So you can see where this is the front and that's the back. So make sure all your arrows face forward. And like I say, this notch is to allow the letter brace mount to go in there. So you're going to go ahead and cleco this to the top. There's holes that match the top here. Cleco that in place. You can see where it gets kind of confusing, but you can see where the green, so it'll mount in there. And then go ahead and burn it. Burn it to this and, get all these braced in there and get all that tacked in there nice. So you'll have those two sides. There is not going to be a nut. This is going to be a special McMaster Carr ordered part. Look for it. It's got 6-inch threads that'll reach down in, and then you're just going to take a 5/8 nut and you're just going to thread it on there when it comes time to lift this bad boy. I made 2 little holes here. There's provisions inside the letter bracing that'll kind of let you get your fingers in there. I don't imagine you'll be able to I don't imagine you'll have to get in there. That's this hole here. I don't believe you'll have to get in there with a wrench, but you just need to tighten it up nice so when you go to lift it, it's safe. So anyway, so that's that. So get all this in there, get the lift points burned in, get those attached nice. Then I believe you can then come in with the letter mounts. So you'll have the main box, lift points, and then do the letter mounts. So the letter mounts are these guys here. So the first thing you're going to do is put 1/4-20 steel riv nuts in every one of these. There's basically 2 per letter or 2 per insert. And make sure the squish faces to the outside of the channel. So there's the channel. So you'll make sure that this flush, because that way when the letter slides in, it's on this side. So the squish will face into the sign itself. It'll face forward. So get these ready, get these bent up, squish all your riv nuts. And then when you go to put them in, these holes here, these are upside down because they have to be upside down to route. But you'll see where these flanges line up with holes on the top of the sign. So you have this notch here. This notch will clearance the seam for this guy. So you'll see where the seam is there when you put these together. So this number 4 is notch special for that. Everything, just real quick, everything is left and right from the front of the sign. And you'll see where you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You work your way over. Same thing with the verticals. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You'll see the verticals have the numbers. Most of them are universal, but there are some different mounting holes. So you want to make sure you get these in order. So keep that in mind. So everything is left and the right, working your way over. So number 1 will go there. Number 2 will go there. So I think you're going to want to rivet. You're going to basically sandwich these together here. So you'll have your vertical, and then you're going to bring in this guy here. You're going to bring this one in. You're going to bring this one in, and then the holes will line up with the verticals. So here, this is the flange for that mount on each one of these. So once you have, this brace and this brace together, then you should be able to shoot a rivet through all 3, this brace, the vertical, and this brace. Go ahead and rivet those, because if you try to shoot a screw, the screw won't tighten because it'll start to push the other flange away. So for sure, you want the clamping effect of rivets on these verticals. Build your inner box, the main box, get the lift points good to go, get all the 1/4 inch, everything tacked in. So that's where you're at. Now start working on the outer box. So the outer box is just going to get clecoed. You can choose to screw it, but I was thinking maybe just lords it so it's nice and strong. And maybe you can shoot screws from the inside, but understand that you still have to put these in. So these screws, when you go to put these letter brace pieces in, those screws will help hold it on. So you might want to just kind of Cleco it, Lords it, and then you can do one big screw party. This is PG-13. Once you go to put these letter braces in, like I was talking about. So, but we're just taking a step backwards. So main box, outer box. So go ahead and start applying the inner frame of the outer box to the main box. Use your Cleco holes. You'll see where you'll have Cleco holes here to line up those. And then the outer box will line up with that. And then put the bottom in there, and then go ahead and put your outer frame of that all the way around. So like I said, these are going to be your jigs. You're going to bend these up. These will be on the inside. And since you don't have, let's see the profile view of that. Let's see, it's way over here. Okay, so here's your green. There it is. So you can see the green will be on the inside. Since this is so small, you don't have the ability to get your gun in there. So you're just going to be welding over here on the outside. So yeah, so once you have this tacked together, you can grind it, and then you can put the faces on. I believe there's nothing wrong with putting the faces on here even before you put the faces on here. So you can go ahead and, or it's up to you. You can put these on later. But anyway, so get this all welded up. Put the top, the bottom, get it secured to the main box. So once we get that done, that basically finishes building this thing, at which point you can then apply the skins. So you can Lords on, the outer skin here all the way along, and then you can do the front. The front are permanent. It's in 3 panels. You have this one here, you have this one here, then you have this one here. So that's permanent. The back side, because you need to be able to access all of these bolt holes for the 1/4-20s, and you need to be able to run all your wire, and you need to access this power. Those are removable. So I have those chopped up. So the bottom sections are permanent. So you'll get those Lords on, and make sure you scrape and clean this edge, because these are going to butt right up against there nice and neat. And then, so you'll have your switch hole over here, and you'll have your middle removed. So all these are removable. So the back will be kind of seamed up a little bit, but it is what it is, because you have to be able to get back there. All right, so once the skins are on, once all this is done, again, there's a lot of work. Let's do the power box. So the power box is like we do, riveted together, but it's in a little different configuration. So since this has to face the back, this would be like you're looking at it from the backside. You'll have 2 GE100s. You'll have your ability to put 2 of them in there, and you'll have a removable face. And it's going to be sitting on these little kickstands. They've actually changed shape a little bit. They're a little bit longer there. Let's see what it looks like inside the sign. So it'll be over here on the right-hand side as you're looking at it, left side from the back. But you'll have these little kick feet that you'll rivet on, and then it'll give you 2 screws to be able to nail this guy down. And it'll give about 1.5 inches of room to run wire out. And you can see where there's provision for power coming in from the bottom here. So power will come in from the ground. It'll run up through, and then there's a hole right here. So there'll be 4 7/8 plugs here to be able to do your primary and secondary in and out. So as you're looking at it from here, like I say, you'll have these 2 openings. So what that is this guy here. You'll have this face plate that'll have the 2 openings, and it'll have where you mount the switch plate. The switch plate will mount from behind. So a side view will look like this. So here's your switch plate coming in from the back, and you'll just use screws from the front. The cover is provisioned for holes for those 2 screws. So that way it'll just sit right over those screws. So we'll do our normal sort of C-channel body like that, and we'll do our normal hollow bottom that will mount the power supplies to. The difference is, I know I always preach that these face outwards, but you'll have this face plate. Make sure that the C-channel faces inward. So that's this piece here. So when you bend this up and you rivet it in, that's this front plate right here that the switch mounts on. Mount it backwards, make the C-channel go in. And yes, I always preach that rivets go to the outside, but because the cover is actually going to fit inside like this, you got to make sure it's clear for the cover to come in. So that's the cover. That's this guy right here. right there. So that'll be bent up and that will slide in like that, and you'll screw it at the ends. If we have to, you can put a little silicone on this rivet. That way, make sure that no water, does get in there. But I think it'll be sheltered enough. So being hidden over here, I don't think we have to worry too much about water. But we do pour water on everything. That's why we do it. So right, we pour water. And then these will be conventional. Make sure that the cavity is to the outside. So you'll rivet those in. This right here, the single hole, is for the screw for the faceplate. These two just rivet to the inside here, where you'll see there. And then when you go to put these rivets in, make sure you catch the feet. So you'll also capture putting the feet on. That's why this looks so funny, because you'll be able to get the rivet gun past the feet. So that's why this foot is only like this and it has a single screw, because you got to be able to sneak that rivet gun in past to be able to get up inside right here, to be able to get in there and rivet that together. So as you're riveting this together, don't forget to get the feet in there to sandwich the whole thing. But like I said, I got Power's GE 100s. You got 2 of them. Probably only need to do 1, but it always seems to be right on the edge. So that brings us to the Mjolnirs. That's just normal stuff. You know how we do. Just weld those together, but they're, long and skinny. So look out for all that. And I think finally is just the letters. So again, like I said, you've got 2 GEs. What I'm looking for here is you've got a sandwich going on. So the fronts of these will be painted silver to look like an 1.5 inch deep reverse channel letter. So you're going to have an 043 island fill channel, and then you're going to have 1/4-20 brass inserts. That's all these guys. Tap them in there. Good to go. And then this channel, this 3/16 deep channel on the backs are going to be clear. So that's going to give us like a cool, as Pearl Gem says, it's a nice even glow. And then you're just going to take normal Tetra. Please don't crash. Please don't crash. Please don't crash. There we go. So you're just going to take normal GE Tetras, or, Tetra Mini, whatever you think. But I kind of have it laid out for just normal Tetras. That's real size. You're just going to stick them inside the channels. Try to avoid, obviously, the studs. And you're just going to collect your wires, and then you're going to run a leash through the little hole down on the bottom there. So each of these are going to have like a collection hole that you're going to sneak it through. So as you can see there, you can use the wire. I would probably use the Sloan gray. It'll look better instead of having, if you look through, you might see blue. And so maybe do the Sloan gray, and then give yourself a good leash to, connect these. You got to run them down and do like a collection, and then run it all the way down here. So, whatever that is, a couple feet, give yourself room to work. Anyway, so that's what you're going to do. So the backers will have the shallow notch, and just stick them down and put leashes on them, and we're done. And then the front pieces, get the little brass inserts and get those to paint. And then once that's over with, also look out. I'm going to be bringing in some McMaster car. So there will be some McMaster car for this job. So look for these guys, because they're 2.5 inch kind of specialty. They should grab the 1/4 inch brass just right. And that will also give us a nice clean look. We're going to do a hex drive, so it'll look nice and clean on the back. And give a little bit of security as far as if people want to try to take the letters. So letters, hopefully, I'm knocking on wood, are going to be super easy for you, super straightforward. And then when it comes time to assemble, you're just going to make a sandwich, and then you're just going to slide these through, and you'll just 1/4-20 these on through the back. Now, that brings up one last point. I hope you're still listening. Talk to install whether or not we want to travel with these letters already assembled. You're going to have a little dynamic load driving down the road with these, kind of flapping back and forth, hitting bumps. That's not what this is kind of designed for. Plus you have the extra weight of having all of this on the sign. This shouldn't be any worse than doing like a normal channel letter install on the side of a building for install. So if they were to take these, slide them in, bolt them down, and then collect all the wires and make connections, it shouldn't be any worse. But if it's not going to be too heavy, or if it doesn't see any problem with the way it is, talk to talk to Jonathan, see how he wants to do it. But the thing is, you're going to leave the O and you're going to leave the N off, because you can see where that power hole is strategically the lift point. So all the other letters are normal letters. The power comes through and you collect it. But the N and the O, no matter what, even if you do put all the letters on there, you need to leave the O and the N off, because that is your lift point. And then once that's all said and done, you slide it through, and they won't know that was the, pretty sneaky there. Pretty sneaky, sis. All right, I think that's it. I've talked enough. So, but obviously just pay attention. There could be some pitfalls. I might have missed some things. Obviously there's a lot of stuff, but I think it all lines up. I double, triple checked. So, but again, just kind of work your way through. Don't, slow as smooth, smooth as fast. Make sure everything fits before you glue and all that. So, and if you have any questions, hit me up.